Hi guys, welcome back to Tutor Nirvana Geometry. In today's video, we will find the midpoint and the distance of line segments when given specific coordinates. The two formulas you will need to know for this video is a midpoint formula and a distance formula. A midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 over 2 and then y1 plus y2 divided by 2 equals m. In this case, it's a capital M because a lowercase m equals slope, so that might get confusing. In the linear function y equals mx plus b, m is lowercase and that means slope. But this is not really needed to know. This is just to help clarify why it's capital M. A midpoint is a point in the middle of a line segment. So that is why you are finding the sum of both x values of the coordinates and the y values of the coordinates you are given, and you are dividing by 2 to find the average, to find the middle of the line. Next is the distance formula. D equals x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And after you find the sum of those numbers, you're going to square root that number and get your distance. In both of these formulas, x1 and y1, x2 and y2 are used. The numbers don't really mean anything. You're not supposed to really do anything with the 1s and 2s. They are just there to help you organize which coordinate you're using. So for instance, x1 and y1 is one coordinate, x2 and y2 is another coordinate, as shown right here. So let's start with some examples. Find the midpoint of line CD. As you can see here, we are given the 2 points CD. So C -2, 4, D 1, -3. And we are going to be using this midpoint formula above. So X, we're going to just label these Y1, Y2. So -2 plus 1 divided by 2, 4 plus -3 divided by 2. -2 plus 1 is -1 over 2. 4 plus -3 is 1 divided by 2. So here you have the midpoint. That was pretty simple. So in this case, it doesn't say to graph, but I'll graph just for the sake of this video. If the question says to graph, graph it. If it doesn't, you can graph it. You don't have to. So -1/2, 1/2. This is going by ones. This point is the halfway. So -1/2 would be right here. And we're going to label it M. So there's the midpoint of line CD. Now, the midpoint of line segment AB is 2 and -5. If the coordinates of point A are 4, 4, what are the coordinates of B? In this case, we don't have to find the midpoint. We are already given the midpoint. The midpoint is 2, -5. We're already given. We're also given point A, which is 4, 4. Now we have to find point B, the second coordinate of the line, the other coordinate of the line. So we're still going to use the midpoint formula because we have the values for it. So let's plug it in. We're going to do 2 -5 equals x, this is going to be x1, y1. So 4 plus x2 divided by 2 equals 4 plus y2 divided by 2. So now that we have these values, what we're going to do is we are going to multiply. We're going to do 2 by 2. These are both x values. This is x and this is x. So 2 equals 4 plus x2 divided by 2. So what we have to do, we would multiply this, and it would be 4 equals 4 plus x2. So 4 plus what equals 4, and that is obviously 0. So x2 equals 0. Now we have the y values. In this case, the y value is negative 5 and 2. So negative 5 equals 4 plus y2 divided by 2. So again, you would multiply and you would get negative 10 equals 4 plus y2. Now to get y2, you would subtract 4 and you would get y2 equals negative 14. y2 equals negative 14. So once we put both those numbers together to create point B, it would be 0, negative 14. And there's your coordinate of B. Now, let's find the distance of line AB. As you can see here, we have the distance formula. D equals x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, and you would square root that to find the value of D. Now, we have these two coordinates, A, negative 1, negative 1, B, 3, 4. So now we're going to plug them in. Let me just label them. x1, x2, y1, y2. So 3 minus negative 1 squared plus 4 minus negative 1 squared. That would be 4 squared plus 5 squared, which would be 16 plus 25. 16 plus 25 is 41. So sometimes if you can simplify, you would simplify. In this case, we're not going to simplify because you can't really simplify 41. It's not divisible by anything. So the distance of line AB equals 41. And there's your distance. What is the distance of line segment AB, A, negative 3, 2, and B, 3, 5? So once again, with it squared here, the distance formula, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, and you will take the square root of that answer. So we were given A, which is negative 3, 2, and B, which is 3, 5. We're going to plug it in. I'm just going to label quickly. We're going to do x1, x2, y2, y1. D equals 3 minus -3 squared plus 5 minus 2 squared. These two negate, so you would get a positive. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 squared plus 3 squared. Oops. Equals D. 36 plus 9 equals D. And now you have 45. D equals 45. Now, 45 is not a perfect square root, but you can simplify it. We can do D equals 9, 5, and that would be simplified to 3, 5. So the distance of line AB equals 3, 5. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Two formulas to remember is those are the two formulas to remember. They will be very useful to problems that relate to midpoints and distances. Like this video and subscribe for more helpful educational videos. See you next week.